You ready to bring us in?
Nope. I don't even know what episode. Oh, 224.
Maybe you just did bring us back in.
It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday, August 2nd, 2024, episode 224. Shelley, happy Friday. It's wine time.
Happy Friday.
And happy birthday to my daughter Tabitha.
That's right. And there's another person who has a birthday.
On August 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
We know this. So you're going to help me.
It's Johnny.
Little Johnny, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Tabitha will be turning 32, 34. Ooh, gosh. Amazing. Amazing she got there. Johnny will be turning...
That's a good question. I should know this.
Can we say 7?
Let's say 7.
Okay. That seems reasonable. Happy birthday, Tabitha. Happy birthday, Johnny. We know neither of you will be listening to this. But down the road, Shelley, down the road,
Maybe.
we'll be able to look at that. So we do need to still get a video of this cork pops, but we used it last week, so we're not going to use it this week unless you're going to actually do a video on your phone of me doing it here. But that's down the road.
And if you listened to last week's episode regarding cork pop, don't use it on champagne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well.
Or sparkling wine. Any sparkling wine. Don't do that. That could be not so good.
It's already...
You could blow your arm right off.
It's already a potential missile to begin with. And then you're going to add more of that stuff. Holy crap. And if you heard that last week, it goes pop. It really does. Speaking of pop, not really. I have just poured a 2022 Browne Family Vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. And this will mark the very first Friday of the second Washington Wine Month.
I don't know why they have 2.
That's okay, though. And actually, last week we did 2 Washington wines.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing 3 today. And next week we're going to do, I think, 4. At least 4 wines. Not sure if they're all Washington. Anyway, to health, wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance.
And peace on earth.
Heck yes. You know what? This smells like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blancs generally do smell like Sauvignon Blancs.
I like Washington.
But it doesn't smell like a New Zealand or Australian.
No, this is
it
more
smells
of a
like
grassy.
A Washington.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's a little fruity.
It really is.
It has been aged on neutral oak. A lot of Sauvignon Blancs are stainless steel. Right. Most Sauvignon Blancs are stainless steel.
So this would be like a Fumé Blanc, right? A Fumé Blanc is aged a little bit neutral oak?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Some kind of oak, but not necessarily neutral, I don't think.
This is... the fact that it's on neutral oak gives
you don't
it
taste
a little
much
depth. Oak. No, it just gives it a little bit of depth, kind of rounds it off a little bit. Not as acidic, maybe, not as grabby.
Yeah, it's not as acidic as New Zealand. That's definitely true. It's citrusy, like lemon pie. Lemon pie kind of citrusy.
No, that's such a can I even say lemon meringue pie on this?
Well, yeah, but the meringue is on top. So
Well, I get it. But I love lemon meringue pie. We should stop doing this stuff when we talk about food. We are having this white wine in honor of Sunday is National Drink White Wine Day, which again, kind of silly in our house. It's almost every day. It's Wine Time Fridays, White Wine Day every day. So this is to honor that. It's also to kick off Washington Wine Month with a bang. And we're actually tasting through a cup. Well, one that I don't think we've ever tried. So that'll be interesting. They're all between $15 and $20 that I got at Fred Meyer. Rumor has it they have a new wine buyer there because our Mark Cook left, and then Cheryl Ann left, and now we don't know who's there.
Nope.
And yet we keep talking about
we'll find out.
For as far as the grocery store goes, they do a nice job, but they're doing a big old reno right now.
Again.
So, yeah.
They're always renoing. So this would pair well with shellfish, especially oysters and clams. And Browne Family, they are in Washington. It's Andrew Browne and his wife, Courtney. And Andrew Browne's father was named Bittner. And he started this winery in honor of him.
Is this a part of the Waterbrook portfolio?
History? I don't think it's part of the Waterbrook portfolio, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that.
Another wine we're drinking today is part of a portfolio.
It is. I probably may not have purchased it had I known that, but it's okay. It's okay. I was going to say, Shelley, this is good. You're going to finish it. Great. Yesterday, two major things happened.
What?
They're not on your notes because I put them on my notes. Yesterday was the first NFL football game.
Oh my gosh.
It was the Hall of Fame game.
I don't want to hear about it because that means fall.
Yeah, but this past week, we've seen temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s. In fact, it even rained a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday. And yet today, it's pushing 100 degrees today, just like that. Boom, boom. So right after this, I will go out and mow the lawn because that's what I like to do in the hot heat.
Crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
Crazy as a heart attack. Anyway, the other thing that happened yesterday is we posted a video on our YouTube channel in honor of Albarino Day, and we are still in the middle of Albarino week. Yes, so we had oysters lined up, and we had three Masacan wines, an Elsem Cellars, and a Eternal Wine, Albarino. And it's interesting because this would have also gone well with that, but we enjoyed those oysters.
They were great.
Yeah. And so anyway, check out the YouTube channel. It was posted yesterday. Of course, on socials, it was posted as well. And gosh, what else on this? We should finish up and move on?
Yes.
Okay. When we come back.
Okay.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, episode 224. And this is August 2nd. The first Washington Wine Month also had 5 Fridays. This Washington Wine Month has 5 Fridays. But Shelley, there's a kind of a decent chance one of these Fridays we're going to do.
I thought you were going to say one of these Fridays might disappear.
No, well, as far as Washington wine goes, because we might do a couple wines from Finger Lakes region in New York, because August is also Finger Lakes Wine Month, and I am working with the Finger Lakes Wine Association on having them fly us out there.
Did they say yes?
They haven't said yes. We're working on budgets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Fun
they really enjoyed all of the stuff from the Paso Robles
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Okay.
They really like that. And so, again, this is just all happening right now. It won't probably be this year. I'm going to push for spring so we can go there sometime in spring and see some of the vineyards and things like that. So anyway, working on that.
Let's push for next fall.
Well, that's a long
They have
way.
a nice fall.
And the Cochrans really want us to come sooner than that.
Won't they be there in fall?
Oh, they will. But then
Okay.
we have to wait a year.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
As long as it's not winter.
Yeah. No, we don't want to go to New York in winter. We have winter here that I would say rivals New York.
Maybe. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. You want to say what I just opened?
Yes. Oh, say?
Yeah.
It's Seven Falls Rapids Red.
Yep.
Blend.
2021. We are not doing any rinse pours on this because, frankly, I just don't want to.
You just don't want to.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
All right, fine.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
Smells good.
That's good.
Smells like beef. And cheese.
You disgust me.
You smell like beef and cheese.
You disgust me. That's a little elf reference right there. Christmas in July. Ooh, we're in August. So, hashtag cheersing.
Cheersing. Ooh, calm down. That's a bit tight.
It is a bit tight.
Very tight.
It's kind of really interesting. It is a bit tight. There's some tannins in there.
So on this one, they
so
said rubber, and it tastes like, it does taste like a rubber band. If you ever chew on a rubber band, I don't know why you would, but I have found myself doing it before.
It's like Gary Vaynerchuk. You take a little dirt, some strawberries, you mush the strawberries in there, you sprinkle some lemon juice on it, and throw a little Himalayan salt in there. That's what I'm getting out of this. In this case, it's a rubber band.
Or a bicycle tube.
So I mean, that brings out that big time profile when you say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people have, like if you're around your bike in the heat in the summer where your tires, you can smell them a lot better.
Yeah. Raspberry, a little raspberry.
Yeah, this
little cherry.
Interesting.
They say coffee, but I'm not getting the coffee.
I'm impressed you found notes on this. I gave up. I gave up, and I did, and you found some, so thank you.
And the winemaker is Doug Gore, and this is a Chateau Saint Michel property.
Yep, it is. And they named this Seven Falls from, I do know this, Waluki Slope.
Columbia River had 7 falls, 7 waterfalls
around the Waluki Slope. Yeah, had 7 waterfalls. So I don't know. Here's the thing about this. I don't dislike this. By the way, don't step back. You will step on our dog and you'll hear a big squeal.
Okay.
This isn't bad by any stretch, but it
just needs
it's tight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Football season started. Yes.
Shh.
I like it.
Like, well, all right.
Well, we're moving around right along.
Moving right along.
Okay, well, I haven't finished.
Our YouTube video keeps skipping.
Well, it's not on YouTube yet. Fortunately, it's going to be a local recording, so we don't have to worry about any of the bad stuff.
We'll see.
Okay, we're going to take one more break.
Or do you want to talk about the wine word of the week first?
Oh, the wine words of the week. I think that would be really apropos.
The Missoula floods.
Yes.
We hear that a lot. If you go visit Washington, you'll hear about the Missoula floods a lot.
It's really...
And the Idaho wines, yeah.
What distinctly separates every other wine region in that terroir are these Missoula floods, also known as the Missoula mudslides. It was tell about it. Just a little bit, because
it was a series of massive floods that occurred in the Pacific Northwest region of the U.S. during the last ice age caused by the repeated failure of ice dams holding back Lake Missoula, a massive glacial lake in present-day Montana. These floods, which occurred between 15,000 and 13,000 years ago, how did they even find that out?
I know.
Had a profound impact on the region's geology, carving out the Columbia River Gorge and depositing layers of sediment and soil that now support the fertile vineyards of Washington State.
So we are working on getting Kevin Pogue, a professor at Whitman College. We're going to get him on. He teaches about this. Oh, wow.
Dump sink bucket.
He teaches about this at Whitman. And I remember in 2010 when I was there for the Wine Bloggers Conference, I sat in, I'm guessing he taught it then too, but I don't know that for sure. I was flabbergasted, amazed. It is really interesting information. And so we're going to try to get him on and talk about that and educate us a little bit. It probably won't be this month, but I'll try anyway because it is Washington Wine Month. And once school gets back in, probably it'll be a little bit more difficult for him to be on. And when we get guests on that aren't with wineries or wine bars or things like that, wine clubs, it's what do we bring to the table to taste through? Because it's kind of important that we taste through wines. So
something from that area.
Well, definitely Walla Walla, that's for sure. Okay, now we're going to take a break. And that was the social web wine words of the week. I'm not sure if you said that. Thank you to the social web. Okay,
no, you did.
We're going to take one more break. When we come back, wine number 3.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays podcast, episode 224, where we are talking about Washington wines because it's the second Washington wine month. I mean, some people don't even have one wine
I don't think
month.
California has one. In fact, I don't think New York has one, but the Finger Lakes region has one. Oregon has one. Missouri has one. That's a good segue. Mm-hmm. Missouri's wine month is in September. Oh. And I am not shy. Oh, wow. Okay. I am really pleased at what's coming up. We might have one of the very first wineries, probably in the nation. I believe that Missouri is the first wine AVA in the United States. We're going to confirm all of this stuff, but they grew some really interesting grapes, kind of original. It's going to be super fun. So that'll be I believe, the first Friday of September. I want to say September 6th. But on this one, we just opened a 2020 Gooseridge G3 Proprietary red blend.
I always loved their labels.
Yeah,
my father liked geese.
And we visited Gooseridge.
We did. It was a very fun afternoon.
When was that? Was that in March?
It wasn't cold.
No, but it wasn't hot either.
No, it probably was.
I think it was when we went to Frechette.
It was.
Okay.
Yes, because we had Lucy with us.
Yeah, Lucy went on a road trip with us. She did pretty well, except for we had to keep her in the car. Put her in the hotel room. She barked like a maniac. Rumor has it, too. Lucy barks when we leave the house. Well, I smelled this out of the bottle. It smelled really interesting.
Cheers.
Hashtag cheersing.
It's also a little tight. To be expected. It's a 2020.
Not as tight as the Seven Falls.
Right, yeah. I taste blackberries.
Yeah, this is a really good wine. We are working on getting Gooseridge on, but we've been crossing connections and it hasn't worked yet. Because I'm very positive we're going to get them on. Do you realize, Shelley, like 90% if not higher, of the wineries we reach out to, immediately say, when they do respond, they say, absolutely.
That's good.
For instance, there are 2 wineries up in Penticton where we will be
British Columbia.
British Columbia next week.
Okanagan
No, 2
Valley.
weeks. No, next week.
Next week.
And yeah. And so I brought a little Canadian info with me too, since it's football season. And did you know that in Canada, they're already 7 weeks in?
Oh my gosh.
Yep. The CFL starts a little earlier than the NFL. By the way, the CFL...
As they should, because it's very cold up there.
Yeah, that's true. The NFL actually is a younger league than the CFL by a lot, like a few
Which is
years.
very funny.
The first game of the CFL season was June 8th this year.
Wow.
And of course, we are Saskatchewan Roughriders fans.
How are they doing?
They're 5-2.
Oh, not bad.
They actually play against the winless Edmonton Eskimos tomorrow.
Oh.
So
I wonder when they'll have to change their name.
Eskimos. This is a non-political
Show.
podcast, Shelley, but I do like the comment. Jill, Gerald, 5-2, go Rough Riders. Seahawks, I think their first preseason game is coming up in a week. The Hall of Fame game is early, and then the rest of the league starts probably about in a week. Yeah.
This is very good.
It is.
And it's not very expensive for a red. How much is it?
It's
They're all
between
under
15 and
20.
20. Yep. I think this is about a $17 bottle, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Browne is $17, and I want to say the Seven Falls is 15, something like that. So they're all in the same type of price point.
Mm-hmm.
At one point I would have kind of scoffed at paying $18 for a Sauvignon Blanc. But what do you say? In the 80s, you used to be able to get Napa Cab for $15.
$18 for a Napa Cab.
Yeah.
$25 for an Opus One.
We're not going to talk about you.
First edition of Opus One that went
pouring.
down the cellar.
Yeah.
I mean, the gutter
The
actually
drain,
got
yeah.
poured
That's
down the gutter.
very, very sad. Very, very sad.
So
this is worth $18 by a...
So a little on Gooseridge.
Yeah.
They have 2,000 acres of state vineyards founded by Monzi, so M.L. Monson, and his nickname is Monzi. The family was a rancher. They did cattle and they did apples and cherries. And then later on, they bought some vineyards.
Kind of like Revora in a sense, isn't it? A little bit. They're
little bit.
Basically a farm family that decided to turn into some vineyards a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And now they are in the Goose Gap AVA. It's an official AVA, the Goose Gap.
Interesting. We visited their winery in, it was Walla Walla, right? We did drive to Walla Walla.
I think so.
Red Mountain and Walla Walla are very, very close. But yeah, so, and these guys are making some terrific wines. Who else is making terrific wines is Arborcrest, where we spent a little time with Rich and Jen Perry from 3D Kitchens by Design, who will be on next week, which is going to be interesting.
Why do you say that?
Because Rich enjoys
only Cabernets.
Listen to the post roll of the sponsorship spots. Rich Perry loves a good glass of Cabernet Sauvignon, but he doesn't like to drink it in an outdated kitchen.
That's true.
But Rich and Jen, we spent some time with them at Arborcrest listening to New Jack City, which is a fun Motown band, very funky. They were playing that funky music.
They were really good.
Yeah, very good.
And that guy could hit some high notes.
Yeah, it was fun. I like that. So let's do a little Wine Time Fridays scoring.
Oh, no. I forgot our scoring system.
Well,
it was pleasant. I mean,
that's the third one down.
That's a C.
Yeah, it's like C. Is it
whatever is above pleasant?
That's almost perfect.
No, that's practically perfect.
Well, okay, practically perfect. And then the other
one is phenomenal. I don't think they're
phenomenal.
practically perfect, though.
I would say this is practically perfect. This is pleasant and going down the line in order, and this is practically perfect. That's what I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, very good. Some wines we enjoyed this week. I think I can do this because not very many of them are from
Are
Europe.
French.
The Big Pink Rosé from the Gary V Wine Club. Rocky Pond Stratostone Rosé. We've been going a little heavy on the rosés. I pulled a lot of the whites and rosés up from the downstairs fridge. We're going to drink them. We can't hold on to those forever, you know.
We cannot.
Sea-Sun Chardonnay. By the way, the Sea-Sun brand is under Wagner Family of Wines. You also find Conundrum. You know them.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Schooner.
I don't know that.
We have one of those wines. It's a very interesting story behind that. We have one in our cellar. Camus. Have you heard of Camus?
Yep.
50th vintage is what they're celebrating this year.
Oh.
And Mer Soleil.
Oh.
Their 30th vintage. So I'm working with Marissa trying to get somebody on. They have to send us wine first. Anyway, that's a long story. Sea-Sun Chardonnay, the Weiss Cabernet Sauvignon. Shelley, neither of us really dug that one. It's a $100 bottle of wine from the Gary V Wine Club.
I think we have different tastes than Gary V sometimes.
Well, sometimes, which is okay, right? That's okay. We also have the Instigator Chardonnay, F.J. Sarah Chardonnay, Liberty Lake Tempranillo.
F.J. Sarah Chardonnay, Father Juniperus Sarah.
What's this?
That is a missionary who went up and down the coast of California. Yeah, and founded lots of missions. So this was named after him.
I just didn't study in my history class.
You didn't grow up in California.
No, I didn't add that either. Liberty Lake Tempranillo, which might have been one of our favorite wines in the past 2 months.
Yeah, really, really good.
Very good. We also got to open a bottle of a Wine Club only exclusive from Elsom Cellars, Corks on the Loose Winemakers Select. That was really good too.
It was.
And the last one from our friends.
Laura Merlot was also good.
Laura Merlot, yeah. Some things coming up. You want to do these?
Sure. In August, National White Wine Day.
That's Sunday.
Yep. Still in the middle of Albarania Week.
Ow.
Was that you?
Yep.
International Prosecco Day on the 13th. International Pinot Noir Day on the 18th. People pronounce Pinot Noir
Did you notice
in
that?
all kinds of ways.
Did you notice that also?
Yes.
That was like really, that was funny.
International Cabernet Sauvignon Day on the 29th.
I took the September out because you got on me for that last week. So I took that September one out.
Okay.
You're like, I don't want to talk about September.
Coming up, guests from Canadian wineries and Missouri wineries will be tasting through a few wines from the Finger Lakes region with the Cochrans.
Yes.
Next week, Rich and Jen Perry.
That's
with
right.
3D Kitchens by Design.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
We seem to be stuck on YouTube.
On Band-Aids.
'Cause
That's right. We're going to keep going.
thank you.
To today's sponsors.
CDA Gourmet, Rivora, and the Greatest Song You've Never Heard podcast.
Which, like Shelley said, 100th episode is coming up in a couple, 3 weeks. With a little bit of knowledge, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you for joining us. See you next week with the Perrys. We're going to be at their place, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.
Washington. Are you doing Washington?
Bow down
No.
to Washington.
Dun, dun,
West Seattle.
dun, dun, dun.
Now
or,
you'll take us.
or the West Side.
Oh, the West Side. Can't do that. No.
Ready?
Set.
Go.